What I'm doing here is I'm actually installing the front apron of the vehicle. You can see that right here. And this isn't welded on yet. This is our front apron that you're looking at in gray, and then these are the fenders. The only thing holding it on the car are the fenders and then the subframe right here, which is down here. Now, if you look right here, you can see there's a big gap. And what that gap's from is on these unibody cars, when you take the subframe, the complete subframe off of the car, you're going to have some tension relief on each side of the subframe arm itself. And the only way to fix that, and you can see there's a gap right here as well, and the only way to fix that is we have got to spread those arms back out. That one's got to go that way and this one's got to go that way. And the tool of choice to repair this the proper way is a Porta Power. Now, I haven't used a Porta Power in many, many years. It's a tool that you usually don't use that often. And when you need to use it, you need to have it. To restore this car was a lot of work, by the way, just to let everybody know. It took a complete parts car to do it. Plus, we went ahead and installed brand new floors and rockers, full floors and rockers. You can see that, and major rust repair in a lot of other places. I still got to finish this here. This is actually off a 4-door. This is a 4-door rocker. We couldn't find a 2-door. The quarter panel still has to be replaced. I still got to do that. And then we got to tie the rocker into the hinge post on this side. But anyway, back to the story here. What we got to do is we got to split those arms apart, and we have to use a Porta Power. So what I did is I went to our local Harbor Freight and purchased a Porta Power kit. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what we got, and let's see if it's going to actually do the job that we need to do to get this 1976 Mercedes-Benz back in gear.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
What we got here, we got a Pittsburgh brand automotive, and it's a portable hydraulic equipment Porta Power. Now, I went ahead and I got this over at Harbor Freight. I was really actually shocked about the price. It was $140. There was no online coupon or any coupon at all to lower the price for me. And the last time that I seen one of these for sale, now, this is an 8,000 pound capacity, but the last time I seen this particular type of Porta Power for sale was around $70. So they've really went up in price. And I haven't shopped around other than going to Harbor Freight recently to see this. So I really don't know what the going rate is on other brands out there. But I went ahead and bought the thing. I need it. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's check it out and see what we got. I will say that the package itself probably weighs about 60 pounds with everything in here. As I was carrying it in here, it slipped out of my hands and I broke it. And little clips that actually hold it together when you're not using actually broke off of here. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get these things back on here where they'll clip back and lock together. But these little clips are removable, and don't lose those, because you need them to close your case up. So we're going to go ahead and open this thing up and take a look at it and see what it's got. And It does come with a 4-ton hydraulic ram pump, which is a manual pump, and it comes with interlocking extension tubes, 10 3/4 pump handle, which is you screw onto it. It's portable, no need for a power source, all steel construction. Now, while I'm taking this out, I want to go ahead and mention that I did use the Porta power that they supply, which is a bigger one than this. I think it's a 20-ton Porta power, and I used that on a Volkswagen. Go back into the videos to look at that video on that Porta power versus this one, and it actually turned out to be a really, really good Porta power. When I bought that one, it was $170, but now when I went back over there, and this is 4 months later, it's $200. So the prices went up on that as well. So here's our packaging right here. You can see that it shows all the pieces that are supposedly inside our kit. It's a nice package, well packaged, and I mean, there's not really much else I could say about it. It does say portable kit includes pump, ram, extension tubes, male connector, hydraulic spreader, wedge head, rubber head, serrated saddle, a V-base, ram toe, plunger toe, flat base, heavy-duty hydraulic hose. So everything's there for you to use a Porta power on what you need to use it for. Once we get it open up, you can see that it's a complete kit. It's got all the wedges, all the feet, and all the accessories need be to use a Porta power. This would be our hydraulic pump right here. Let's go ahead and unwrap that. And it comes with a very lengthy cord here. I'm really actually surprised. That cord is, I would say, at least 5 feet long. Very heavy duty. It's got a spring on the end of it so you don't kink it up, and it feels very strong and secure. We got all of our attachments as well. Here's our big foot right here. We got all of our little feet that is installed with it. Here's our rubber pad. Very handy item. A lot of these Porta powers that you get don't come with this rubber, and these rubbers are very nice to have, believe it or not. And then we got all of our extension rods, and the way that those go together, they basically just slide together like this. Let's go ahead and put them together and see what the total length is on our rod. So as I measure that out, with all of the extensions together, it comes out to be 4 feet. A little over 4 feet. It's approximately 50 inches. But then by the time that you add all of your feet onto it, however you're going to do that, you can see right here, all right, I just actually put that on there. They stay together very nicely. They don't slide off. I like that. And the feet actually work very well, and they stay on secure. Here's another one right here. We can go ahead and put that on there. That's pretty nice. So the way that this thing goes together is that we would take this piece right here and stick it in the bottom, just like that. And then our ram, which is this piece right here, okay, this is our ram, would go on here like this. And then, of course, on the other end of the ram, you would be able to put another added feature that they give you, which we would be using this thing right here. This is the one that we want to use, and then we put that on that end right there. And then we want to keep our plastic cap for our ram as well. All right, I got my ram hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and set this piece down on the ground, because like I said, this has approximately a 4 to 5 foot hose on it. So we're going to put that on the ground, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ram, which you can see right here. I've already hooked the two up. I got the hose hooked up to the ram itself. I went ahead and took this foot right here and added it on with a short bar onto the ram. So what we'll do is we'll hold this right here, just like that. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to pump it. Okay, I got my ram right here. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up my stopper so we can go ahead and pump that out. And I'm going to go ahead and set my Porta Power right here, and then we're going to start pumping that to get it to work. And then once again, we need to widen out our subframe arms, our left and right subframe arms, to match up with our aprons. This is a unibody car, and it needs to be separated out. So there you go right there. As you can see, by pumping, our handle has put the hydraulic fluid into the ram and is now opening this up. So let's keep going with it and see where it takes us. And I can actually see it moving as I'm pumping it. And we have to keep pumping that until we get it where we want it. Okay, let's take a look over here and see what we got. So by using our Harbor Freight Porta Power, hydraulic Porta Power, you can see that it closed the gap up really nice, and I'll be able to go ahead and spot weld that right hand apron onto the frame arm of the vehicle. Once again, this is a unibody car, and this is basically the only way that you can straighten these. Now, if we come over here, you can still see that there's a gap here, and the reason there's a gap on this is because when I put this apron on the vehicle, I took my hammer and I hammered the lip, which is this lip right here that I'm trying to show you. I hammered that out so I can go ahead and slide that onto the vehicle itself. Once I hammer and dolly that back to where it's supposed to go, it should fit on there the way that we want. So here's our Porta Power in action. It's sold at Harbor Freight. It's a Pittsburgh design. It's an 8,000 pound capacity hydraulic equipment ram. You can see that right there. There's your hand pump. Here's the ram itself right here. There's our extension arm with one of our feet attached to it. And then of course we got a foot on this. Now once I spot weld all this on here, I'll be able to take that off, and then I can go ahead and turn it around, because then all the pushing power, which is on this end, will be on this side, and it will force it in to the apron when we get there. So what's my opinion on the Harbor Freight Pittsburgh automotive 8,000 pound capacity hydraulic equipment ram Porta Power? I'll tell you my opinion. I think it's a little bit overpriced. The price of this thing, I believe, should be approximately $100 or less for what you get. As I was using the pump itself, I started putting pressure onto the ram, and it felt like it wasn't getting any power. You can see how far it goes down before it actually does any pumping. And I'm going to pull that up so you're right there when it's fully up. And then when you push it down, you're only getting approximately a ½ an inch of push before it deadens out. I'm thinking that either this is low on hydraulic fluid, or the ram itself isn't 8,000 pounds of capacity pressure. So to go ahead and wrap this thing up, my conclusion on this is a lot of stuff that you buy at Harbor Freight is a good deal, and some stuff isn't. I would put this in the isn't category, and if I was you, I would not buy this. I would go look and search for another brand that has a little bit more power, maybe possibly a more popular brand, and stick with that. I can foresee that this here is probably only going to last maybe 4 or 5 jobs, and being as cheap as it is, will probably end up being a dud in the end. And if I want to buy a Porta Power, I will probably stay away from the Harbor Freight Porta Power system, because this little baby here is pretty much a dud. So this is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, testing it out, not liking it, and wouldn't suggest buying it. Like I said, the pumping power on that isn't there to me. I've had other Porta Powers, and when you pull that handle up all the way, it's a full hard push, not a soft push to, well, a half an inch and then push. So I don't think this is worth the money. Stay away from it. It's going to help me do this job. Once I get done with the job, I'm taking it back to Harbor Freight. I'm getting me a refund. I hope this little review helped you out. Wasn't the best review in the world, but it was a review that says sometimes Harbor Freight's a great place to go, and sometimes it isn't. Take it easy. See you on the next one.